have a virtual field tour of the site at Lake Cargelligo in a time that normally you wouldn't get a chance to have a look because growers would traditionally be on the header. A big thank you extended to the Golding family for hosting the site this year. 2020 has been a much better year than the last 3, which has lifted grower spirits significantly. The trial design includes 12 varieties ranging from shorter season Condo and Vixen to longer season varieties such as Kitty Hawk and Acroc, with a few quick winter wheats such as Longsword and Nighthawk in between. We have 3 sowing dates, the 16th of April, 7th of May and the 20th of May. This trial is put together to give growers a chance to have a look at different varieties with different seasonal lengths and photoperiod requirements and fertilisation requirements. The aim of this project is to give growers a chance to have a look at some of the new genetics that are coming through with the longer season wheat varieties, such as Longsword and Nighthawk, and give them some confidence about putting these varieties into their sowing program. Today we're just going to have a mosey on through, have a look at how these varieties are finished out during the year, and give the growers a chance to have a look. First variety we're looking at is Scepter, sown on the 7th of May. Scepter is an AH quality, mid-maturing variety. It's a very popular variety across growers in the Central Western District. Next we have RGT Acroc, which is a very long season red wheat feed quality. It was sown on the 7th of May also. Next we have Condo, sown at the 7th of May. Condo is a shorter season wheat. It's hard quality in classification and early maturing. We've still got a few green heads left in Condo, but majority it's finished for the year. Next we have Wedgetail, sown the 20th of May, which is quite late for its window. Wedgetail is a traditional winter wheat and it's prime hard quality. Moving on from that, we have Scepter, sown the 20th of May. So this is heading into probably its traditional sowing window, sort of mid-May. It's finished up for the year by the looks of things. It's done quite well. Next we have RGT Acroc again, sown the 20th of May. So this is really quite late, and as you can see it is still very green. And will be a while off being ready for harvest. So really that Acroc's traditionally fitting into the late February to early April and suitable for grazing as well. So this is Long Reach Kitty Hawk, sown 16th of April. So it's quite early. Kitty Hawk is a winter wheat, so wedge-tail replacement, and is an Australian prime hard quality. So it's dual purpose for grazing and also grain. So we've got the last Acroc, sown the 16th of April. So still very green, but with a mix of early and or mature and still developing, still green heads. Wedgetail, sown the 16th of April. We have Vixen, sown on the 16th of April. So 16th of April really is quite early for Vixen, but it's done reasonably well. We haven't had any significant frosts at this site this year, or consecutive significant frosts, which means that these varieties that are sown out of their window have probably not performed too bad. So it's DS Bennett, sown the 16th of April. So Bennett is a winter wheat, it's Australian standard white. It's a high yielding and it's a dual purpose. So it is another traditional grain and graze, and being an awnless wheat, suits also the hay market as well. Long reach Kitty Hawk again in its latest sowing date of the 20th of April, so that's heading out into far too late for Kitty Hawk really. Still a few green heads, and potentially a little bit of frost damage seen in Kitty Hawk there. Alright, here we have Illabo, sown on the 20th of May. So Illabo is another winter wheat, so APH quality, and a wedge tail alternative, so it's another dual purpose grain and graze variety. Pascal, DS Pascal, sown on the 20th of May, so it's a bit late for DS Pascal. It's a APW quality, early season, seems to be a bit quicker than Bolak, suitable for mid-April through to early May sowing. DS Pascal, sown the 7th of May. So within Pascal's window, probably getting to the end of its window, but not looking too bad. On to DS Bennett, sown the 7th of May. So probably still heading a little bit late for DS Bennett. Next in line for our field tour is Illabo, sown on the 7th of May. So it probably is sitting maybe a little bit late for Illabo. But this is what this trial is all about, to see where these varieties can fit in these environments. Vixen, sown on the 7th of May. So again, Vixen being a short season wheat, this 7th of May sowing time is a little bit early, so they're more so suited to mid-May. It's a shorter stem length than Condo too. Wedge tail, 7th of May. A few green heads as expected. The season out at Lake and throughout Central West has been a bit funny this year, with varieties not really being held back by severe or cold temperatures. So we've seen things bounce ahead quite quickly, which has caused a few frost issues in some varieties. So we've got Condo planted on the 20th of May, so that's in its normal traditional sowing window, so not looking too bad at all. Be interesting to see how Condo and Vixen compare, especially with the two harvest heights too. Long Reach Trojan, the 20th of May. Long Reach Nighthawk, 20th of May. So Long Reach Nighthawk is another one of those fast winter wheats, and hasn't been named for all that long. So I think got officially name released last year in 2019. Scepter, 16th of April. So this is quite early for Scepter, out of its window. Not looking too bad, but we'll see how the grain yield happens to be after harvest, and whether or not the 16th of April is just too early for Scepter. Longsword, sown on the 16th of April. The wind's playing a bit of a havoc at our site today. So longsword is another one of the new long season wheats, supposedly suited to these earlier planting windows and the dual purpose grazing option as well. So longsword's been a fairly well performing crop variety in the last couple of years of this trial. Condo, 16th of April, you really wouldn't sow condo that early. Traditionally, we're pushing some of these varieties, but don't hold them completely to the conditions at which we put them under. Here we have Longreach Nighthawk sown on the 16th of April. So this is within Nighthawk's sowing window, which is late March to late April. Hillabo on the 16th of April. It's probably sitting within its window for central western New South Wales. DS Pascal, 16th of April. So within its window, or maybe at the start. Vixen, 20th of May. So this is really getting into Vixen's proper sowing window. Vixen's a relatively new variety on the market. Australian high quality, bred by Intergrain. Longsword, 20th of May. So it's a bit late for longsword, but we're just seeing what these different genetics will do under different seasonal conditions and sowing times. Hornless variety has to be DS Bennett with a few Rogers in the mix. 20th of May, so this is a bit late for Bennett. So the whole point of this project is to enable growers to have a look at these new genetics and see how they fit in their environments under different sowing windows. So hoping to give growers greater flexibility should they get an early season break. They can have the confidence to sow some of these longer season wheat varieties, and hopefully with the aim of avoiding a frost risk. So we've got Longreach Trojan on the 7th of May, and along with that, removing the frost risk of these fast winter wheats that finish quick in the back end of the season. The idea being that in the central western areas we normally have a tight finish, so you don't really want a long season wheat that's really dragging it out towards the end. You want it to come in quick, because otherwise there's a high chance it'll get touched up with a tight spring. Longreach Kitty Hawk on the 7th of May. Not looking too bad. Probably heading a bit late for it. Last but not least, Longreach Nighthawk on the 7th of May.